In another galaxy, a single choice changed everything.
Padmé chose duty over the one she loved most.
And in that silence, Anakin Skywalker's heart began to fracture.
But one man saw that wound, Fawford, and prepared to turn it into power.
The temple spires glimmered against the Coruscant dawn, and Anakin stood alone on a high balcony, feeling the first light brush across the city. The war had begun, and the galaxy demanded heroes. But the Jedi demanded something more. Detachment. He had made his choice. Padmé's words still lingered in his mind, her final plea beneath the Naboo stars. You don't have to be perfect, Ani. Just human. But perfection was exactly what the Council demanded, and so he buried her voice in silence. When the Clone Wars erupted, Anakin threw himself into battle. Without the weight of forbidden love, he became a soldier of precision, focused, relentless, terrifyingly efficient. Obi-Wan noticed the difference. Gone was the impulsive youth who questioned every command. In his place stood a general of discipline, one whose blue blade cut through the chaos with mechanical resolve. Palpatine, watching from the shadows, saw potential in this version of Skywalker. The Chancellor's words grew subtler, his manipulation slower. He did not tempt Anakin with love or loss now, but with duty, praising his control, feeding the pride that simmered beneath it. You are the ideal Jedi, my boy. The Order could learn from you. Anakin's loyalty deepened, yet beneath the armor of restraint, the storm never died. He still thought of Padmé in quiet moments between battles, still felt the faint pull of the life he denied. The Force itself seemed to pulse with what he had buried, a whisper of what could have been. Then came Geonosis, Christoph's Umbera, planet scorched by endless campaigns. Every victory made the galaxy cheer his name, but the Council grew wary. Skywalker was too decisive, too powerful, too detached. Even Obi-Wan began to fear what he could become if the balance ever shifted. One night, amid the rain-slick ruins of Umbera, Anakin found himself staring at his reflection in a puddle of ash and light. The man who looked back was not the boy who once dreamed of freedom and love. He had become the perfect Jedi, and something else entirely. Far above the battlefield, a hollow message blinked to life. Padmé's face appeared, her voice trembling with urgency. Anakin, something's happening in the Senate. And for the first time in years, the silence inside him began to crack. The message from Padmé came encrypted, routed through secure Senate channels. Anakin listened to her voice in the flickering blue glow of his quarters aboard the Resolute. The Republic is changing, she said, and I have to fight for what's right, even if it means fighting you. For a long moment, he said nothing. Outside, the war raged on. Battle reports, fallen world, and endless orders from the Council. But her words struck deeper than any enemy's blade. Padmé, the one person who once saw him beyond the title of Jedi, now stood on the opposite side of his belief. In this timeline, their secret love had never become rebellion. It had become distance. Padmé, rising as a leading voice in the Senate, had taken up the cause of reform, opposing emergency powers, and pushing for peace talks that the Jedi dismissed as naive. She had become a beacon for hope and a target for corruption. Palpatine watched carefully. He understood what her resolve could do to Anakin. The Chancellor no longer needed to lure the young Jedi with forbidden promises. Now, he would weaponize disillusionment. She is noble but misguided, he told Anakin in his calm, patient tone. Her loyalty lies with politics, not with you. But you, my boy, you serve something greater. Anakin wanted to believe that. He wanted to silence the ache in his chest every time her name surfaced in a Senate debate. But the Force whispered differently. When the Council assigned him to protect Coruscant's delegates, his path crossed hers once again. No romance, no confession, only cold formality. Their conversation was brief, sharp, and final. You've changed, Anakin, Padmé said, eyes searching his face. "So have you," he replied. "You trust the Senate more than the people dying for it." "I trust the Republic," she said quietly, "even if it's falling apart." The silence between them spoke the rest. Later that night, as Coruscant city lights shimmered below, Anakin watched her speeder fade into the clouds. His heart, once tempered by duty, now fractured under the weight of loss and pride. From the shadows, Palpatine smiled. The fracture had begun, and across the stars, the seeds of destiny shifted toward darkness. Palpatine had always watched Anakin closely, but now his patience sharpened into precision. The young Jedi had grown colder since the war began, focused, brilliant, and increasingly alone. The Chancellor saw the fracture between Anakin and Padmé not as tragedy, but as opportunity. In the private calm of his Senate office, Palpatine summoned Anakin often. The meetings began as routine briefings, but slowly became something else. Conversations turned philosophical, personal. The Chancellor spoke of trust, control, and the burden of leadership. "You've given everything to the Jedi," he said one night, his voice smooth as silk. "Yet they still doubt you." Anakin didn't deny it. The Council had grown distant. His victories in battle were met with caution, his insights dismissed as arrogance. Obi-Wan still guided him, but even that bond felt strained, mentor and brother, but never equal. The Jedi preached patience while soldiers died by the millions. Palpatine's words slid deeper each time. "A lesser man would have broken by now," he said, eyes gleaming in the dim light. "But you could bring balance, true balance, if only you were free to act." It was subtle, never a command, never a promise. Just ideas, planted carefully in a restless mind. Meanwhile, the war worsened. The Separatists struck at the core, and entire fleets vanished in ambushes. Each disaster fed Anakin's frustration with the Council's rigid codes. His connection to Padmé, once a source of strength, had become another wound, reopening whenever her name appeared in Senate reports. She now opposed the war entirely. One evening, returning from a brutal campaign on Ryloth, Anakin was summoned again. Palpatine greeted him with news of Senate unrest. "They call for stronger leadership," the Chancellor said. "Someone decisive, someone like you." Anakin looked away, jaw tightening. "I'm just a soldier, sir." Palpatine smiled faintly. "No, my boy, you're far more than that. You're what the Republic needs." Outside the window, Coruscant's endless traffic lanes glowed like veins of light in a sleeping giant. Anakin's reflection stared back, tired, hardened, uncertain. For the first time, he wondered if the Jedi were holding him back from what he was truly meant to become. And in that unguarded thought, Palpatine saw his victory begin. The war had made legends of them both, the negotiator and the hero with no fear. Together, they turned defeat into victory and chaos into order. But beneath the triumphs, Obi-Wan felt something slipping, an unease that grew each time he looked into Anakin's eyes. They no longer held the same warmth or wonder. They burned now, focused, guarded, calculating. On Cato Neimoidia, Obi-Wan watched as Anakin stormed through enemy lines, deflecting blaster fire with terrifying precision. He fought not as a Jedi, but as a weapon. When the last droid fell, Anakin didn't lower his blade. He stood motionless, breathing hard, the hum of his lightsaber drowning out the silence. Later, aboard their cruiser, Obi-Wan confronted him. "You're changing, Anakin. War changes everyone," came the cold reply. "Not like this." But Anakin turned away, his expression unreadable. The Council hesitates while soldiers die. Someone has to act. That sentence lingered like a crack in the Force itself. Obi-Wan brought his concerns before the Council. He spoke of Palpatine's growing influence, of Anakin's isolation, of the imbalance he felt around his former Padawan. Mace wind a frown but dismissed it. Skywalker's victories speak for themselves. "Perhaps you worry too much, Kenobi." Yoda's tone was softer, but no less final. "A bond. Strong yours is. but clouded your vision may be. For the first time, Obi-Wan felt truly powerless. The Council, distracted by strategy and protocol, failed to see what he saw: the erosion of trust, the pull of something darker. Meanwhile, Anakin's visits to the Chancellor increased. Palpatine fed him secrets, reports the Council never shared, knowledge of the Force whispered as ancient truths. Each conversation widened the rift. When they met again on the hangar deck, Obi-Wan saw it clearly. The warmth of brotherhood had faded. In its place stood distance and pride. "You're a great Jedi, Anakin," he said quietly. "But greatness means nothing without balance." Anakin met his gaze, silent. Then, without a word, he walked away. As Obi-Wan watched him vanish into the shadows of the departing gunship, he felt it, like a tremor through the Force. Something was breaking, and this time no one would listen. Every victory carried his name. From the sieges of Ryloth to the liberation of Silicami, Anakin Skywalker led the Republic to triumph after triumph. Soldiers saluted him not as a general, but as a symbol, a myth made flesh. His tactics were bold, his instincts unmatched, and his connection to the Force deeper than ever. But power came with silence. The Council's chambers grew colder toward him. When they spoke of peace, they never spoke to him. Missions were reassigned without explanation. Reports he filed went unanswered. Even Obi-Wan's voice, once his compass, had turned careful, measured, distant. "Be mindful of your feelings, Anakin," Obi-Wan urged after one campaign. "I am mindful," Anakin replied, jaw tight. "More than any of them." The cracks deepened when the Council denied him the rank of Master, even after leading a dozen systems to freedom. The insult festered, but beneath the anger, something else grew, a conviction that the Jedi were failing the Republic they claimed to protect. Palpatine fed that conviction with quiet precision. In private meetings, he spoke of destiny and vision. "You see what they cannot," he told Anakin. "You act while they debate. It is the burden of greatness, my boy." Each word was a thread, weaving pride into discontent. When intelligence reached Coruscant of a separatist superweapon hidden deep in the Outer Rim, Anakin demanded to lead the strike. The Council hesitated. "Too dangerous," they said. He went anyway. Against orders, he led a clone assault that destroyed the facility and captured a fleet, but at devastating cost. Thousands of clones dead, a planet in ruins. The Council reprimanded him. The Chancellor applauded him. In the Senate Rotunda, Palpatine addressed the galaxy. "General Skywalker has once again secured peace through decisive action." The chamber roared with approval. Anakin stood in silence, the cheers hollow in his ears. That night, as he watched the city lights burn below, he realized the truth. He was more powerful than any of them, Jedi or Chancellor alike. And yet, he was still their pawn. He clenched his fists as the Force trembled around him. Far away, Yoda stirred in meditation. The balance was shifting. And this time, the darkness was winning. Coruscant's skyline burned with the light of endless traffic, a city never sleeping, never pausing. But beneath its shimmering towers, fear had taken root. The Republic's democracy, once its heart, was being hollowed from within. Padmé and Amidala saw it happening every day from the Senate floor. Emergency powers extended without vote, oversight dismissed, dissent silenced. The Chancellor's calm assurances no longer masked the quiet rise of authoritarian control. When debate failed, she began to act. Forming the delegation of 2,000, Padmé gathered senators who still believed in democracy. They met in secret, drafting petitions, planning speeches, and leaking truths the press dared not print. Her voice became a rallying cry across the core worlds. Liberty dies when fear rules unchecked. But the cost was steep. She became a target. Loyalists called her a traitor. The Chancellor's inner circle labeled her dangerous. When riots erupted on Coruscant's lower levels, the Senate blamed her rhetoric. Still, she refused to yield. Then the war turned again. A key separatist stronghold fell under a campaign led by General Skywalker, swift, merciless, decisive. The Senate celebrated. Padmé did not. She recognized the tactics, the precision. Anakin had changed. He fought like a man chasing something he couldn't name. Their reunion came unplanned. In a dim corridor outside a Senate briefing, their paths crossed for the first time in months. For a moment, neither spoke. The years of distance hung between them heavier than armor. "Still fighting wars, I see," she said softly. "Still fighting words," he answered. Their tone carried no warmth, yet the connection remained. Beneath duty and disillusionment, the bond they once denied flickered to life again. Padmé warned him. Palpatine's power grows with every victory. He's turning the Senate into his personal army. Anakin's jaw tightened. He's saving the Republic the Jedi abandoned. And what if he's saving it for himself? He said nothing. The silence spoke louder than any argument. That night, Anakin reported to the Chancellor. Palpatine listened as his apprentice-to-be described the Senator's words, his expression unreadable. "Ah," he murmured at last. "So she still stirs your heart." Outside, Coruscant's endless lights dimmed under gathering storm clouds. And in the coming storm, love and loyalty would collide once more. The galaxy trembled under endless war. Planets burned, fleets vanished, and whispers of betrayal filled the Senate halls. Amid the chaos, Padmé Amidala's name once again echoed to the core worlds. Leader of the delegation, enemy of corruption, voice of the people. Anakin Skywalker watched from afar, torn between admiration and resentment. Every time her image appeared in a hollow broadcast, the ache in his chest returned. He told himself it was nothing, only memory, but the Force stirred restlessly each time she spoke. Their reunion came in secret, far from the Senate's eyes. Coruscant's underlevels hid them from view, a meeting arranged under the guise of intelligence exchange. When she stepped from the shadows, time itself seemed to falter. "Anakin," she breathed. "Padmé," he said, his voice barely a whisper. Years of restraint collapsed in a single heartbeat. They spoke not as Jedi and Senator, but as the two who had once dreamed of peace. She confessed her fear, that democracy was dying faster than the Republic could fight for it. He confessed his anger, that the Jedi no longer believed in him. "You're stronger than any of them," she said. "But strength without purpose can destroy you." He looked away. Then maybe destruction is all the Jedi deserve. For a fleeting moment, her hand found his. The connection reignited everything he had buried. The warmth, the longing, the defiance. But in the Force, it also ignited something darker. Unbeknownst to them, Palpatine was already aware. The Chancellor had eyes everywhere, and this meeting was no secret to him. As Anakin returned to the temple that night, summoned by coded transmission, Palpatine waited in the glow of Coruscant's cityscape. "You've been restless, my boy," he said gently. "Haunted, perhaps?" Anakin hesitated. "I saw her again." Palpatine smiled almost fatherly. "Then the Force is guiding you. Love is not weakness. It is power, if you learn to master it." The words sank deep, settling where doubt had lived for years. Palpatine turned to the vast view of the city. It's time the galaxy learned who truly has the strength to save it. And in that moment, the final act of his plan began to unfold. The Republic was dying. Every broadcast from the Senate brought news of new betrayals, new battles, new fractures in the galaxy's faith. But for Anakin Skywalker, the war outside meant nothing compared to one inside him. His reunion with Padmé had reopened everything he fought to bury. The pain, the love, the fear. She believed in him still, but her defiance of Palpatine placed her directly in danger. Every Senate session she led against the Chancellor drew her deeper into the crosshairs of his enemies and his plans. Palpatine knew exactly what he was doing. Each whisper, each carefully chosen word drove the wedge deeper between Anakin and the Jedi. "They doubt you, my boy. They always have. And now, They plot to overthrow the Senate itself. When the Council summoned Anakin to spy on Palpatine, he felt the trap closing. Mace Windu's command rang with finality. You will report all of the Chancellor's dealings. The Senate must not control the Jedi. It was a last thread of trust, severed. That night, Anakin returned to Padmé's apartment, the city lights flickering behind them like dying stars. She saw the storm in his eyes before he spoke. They want me to betray him, he said. Then don't, she replied softly. Betray the corruption, not the man. I don't know which is which anymore. Her hand touched his cheek. You do. You always have. But the moment was fleeting. A coded transmission flashed across his comm. The Chancellor is under arrest. Anakin froze. The choice he had avoided now stood before him. If the Council killed Palpatine, the war would end, but so would his chance to protect Padmé from the darkness he couldn't name. If he intervened, he'd be defying the Jedi completely. His heart pounded as the starship streaked toward the Senate district. He turned to Padmé, his voice low and breaking. If they're wrong, if he's the only one who can stop what's coming, I have to act. Anakin, don't. But it was too late. The engines roared to life, and the hero with no fear disappeared into the Coruscant night, racing toward a moment that would decide the fate of the galaxy. Anakin Skywalker had never known peace. Even as the galaxy waged its final battles, his true war raged within. The Jedi whispered of treachery in the Senate. The Chancellor spoke of betrayal in the Temple, and in between them stood Anakin, chosen by prophecy, divided by love. When Mace Windu revealed the Council's plan to remove Chancellor Palpatine from office, something inside Anakin broke. He controls the Senate, Mace said. He's too dangerous to be left in power. Yet Anakin heard only one truth. They're going to destroy him. Palpatine's words returned, soft and venomous. The Jedi will betray democracy itself. He went to Padmé. She saw the turmoil before he spoke. They're turning against him, he said, voice trembling. Against everything we've fought for. Padmé's reply was calm, but pleading. Anakin, this war ends when power returns to people, not to one man. Don't let fear decide this. Fear. The word struck like a blade. It wasn't fear of losing the Republic. It was fear of losing her. Every nightmare, every vision of her fading away in his arms, returned in a flash. And Palpatine had promised a way to stop it. When the message came, the Chancellor is under arrest, Anakin's choice was sealed. He rushed to the Senate district, ignoring Padmé's cries behind him. His starfighter cut through Coruscant's endless glow like a meteor. In the Chancellor's office, blue light from the battle outside painted everything in fire and shadow. Windu's blade hovered over Palpatine's throat. He's too dangerous to be left alive. Anakin froze. Jedi justice or blind fear, he could no longer tell them apart. Palpatine's voice, desperate and commanding, echoed through the chamber. You must choose. For a moment, the galaxy held its breath. Then the blade struck, not Windu's, but Anakin's. Lightning filled the room, followed by silence. Palpatine's laughter broke it, soft and triumphant. Now, my boy, he whispered. You see, Anakin fell to his knees, horror flooding his soul. There was no turning back. As the Chancellor's new empire rose in secret, a single thought burned in Anakin's mind. Padmé. He had done it for her. But in saving her, he may have doomed everything. The air of Mustafar was alive with fire. Rivers of molten rock roared beneath the blackened sky, reflecting the chaos that burned inside Anakin Skywalker. Cloaked in the armor of his rage, he watched the Separatist leaders fall before his blade. For peace, he muttered, as their bodies collapsed into the ash. For her, moments later, Padmé's ship descended through the smoke. Anakin's heart faltered as she ran toward him, eyes wide with fear instead of love. What have you done? She cried. You become the very thing we fought against. I did it for you, he shouted, reaching for her hand. To save you from death, from them, from everything. But before she could answer, another figure appeared at the top of the ramp. Obi-Wan Kenobi. The sight of his former master twisted something inside Anakin. "You brought him here," he whispered. Padmé's silence was answer enough. The anger returned like a storm. His blue eyes, once bright with hope, turned to molten gold. "You turned her against me." Obi-Wan's voice broke. "You did that yourself." The duel erupted with a scream of sabers. Sparks and fire danced around them as two brothers fought not for victory, but for the last fragment of what they once were. Each strike carried years of love, guilt, and betrayal. "You were my brother, Anakin." Obi-Wan's voice echoed over the lava. "I should have known the Jedi were plotting against me." But beneath the fury, Obi-Wan sensed hesitation, a tremor in Anakin's strikes. His anger was not complete. It was fractured, uncertain. Then, through the roar of fire, a voice cut through the chaos. "Anakin!" Padmé's plea reached across the inferno. "Listen to me. This isn't who you are." For one heartbeat, his blade faltered. Obi-Wan saw it, the smallest flicker of the man he once knew. But it was enough. With a final, desperate move, Obi-Wan struck. Anakin fell, fire rising to claim him. As he lay on the blackened shore, smoke and pain filling the air, he whispered her name. "Padmé!" His voice cracked with something between love and loss. And as the flames began to rise, the Dark Lord of the Sith was born, yet not fully. Somewhere, buried beneath the pain, the man still whispered, "I'm sorry." The metal breath echoed in the silence, slow, mechanical, and hollow. When Anakin's eyes opened, the world was dark. He felt no warmth, no pain, only the cold of a machinery pulsing through his chest. Darth Vader had risen. But this time, something was different. His memory was fractured. Padmé's scream, Obi-Wan's tears, fire, and above all, guilt. The Emperor's voice slithered through the shadows. "You are reborn, my apprentice. Together, we will bring peace to the galaxy." Anakin did not answer. Peace. The word felt poison. He reached out through the Force, searching. Padmé was gone, her light extinguished. Yet faintly, impossibly, he felt a flicker, not gone but distant. "She lived," he whispered. Palpatine's eyes narrowed. "She betrayed you. Forget her." But Vader could not. Each breath of the suit was a reminder of his failure, his punishment. As the Empire rose from the ashes of the Republic, Vader executed his masters with mechanical precision, yet hesitation haunted his every strike. Worlds fell silent before him, but whispers spread among Imperial officers. The Lord hesitates. One mission changed everything. On Naboo, tasked with crushing a rebel cell, Vader sensed something familiar in the Force. It wasn't Padmé. It was her spirit, echoing through the place where they had once walked together. The gardens, the lake, the silence, it broke him. In his chambers that night, he removed his mask. The man beneath it trembled. The reflection staring back was neither Jedi nor Sith, only a ghost of what could have been. "I wanted to save her," he muttered to the empty room, "but I destroyed everything." The next day, Vader defied orders. Instead of annihilating the rebels, he let them escape. The Emperor felt it instantly. Weakness. Lightning filled the throne room as Sidious struck him down, voice like thunder. "You were to be my greatest weapon, not my greatest failure." Vader knelt, sparks crawling across his armor, but the darkness no longer felt like home. "Then maybe," he said through the crackle of his own circuits, "you chose the wrong man." As Sidious raised his hand for a killing blow, the Force shifted. Somewhere deep within the storm, Anakin Skywalker stirred again.